Hey y'all, Chad here, and it's gonna be a little bit different style video than my typical tutorial style where I'm sharing tips and strategies. Today, I wanna offer a little bit of a intellectual journey rant on three different components or three different reflections. I'm a dad, so I can make mere puns like that. Three different reflections on why are virtual teams actually important. Let's get into it. This video was inspired by a workshop that I led just a couple days ago with a bunch of senior partners at a giant accounting firm. And one of them asked me, they've been using Zoom avidly. At the time of recording, we've been 8 months of living in Pixel Town, Zoom Town, COVID land. And people are just fatigued, right? They're burnt out from virtual meetings. And he asked me a question that hasn't been asked yet, which scared me and made me think quite a bit. And the question was, do you think Zoom is going to end up like PowerPoint? I was like, oh man, like I make a point in all of my workshops, even keynotes with 2,000 people, virtually or in person, I make a point to use 0 PowerPoint slides. Because there's this narrative of like death by PowerPoint. As soon as a PowerPoint comes on, people's brain goes into this like consumption mode, right? We just kind of like turn down a little bit. So when he asked that question, I really got to thinking, will Zoom end up like PowerPoint? Why are virtual teams important enough to continue to let us push through whatever that Zoom burnout is and find more creative ways? And here's what I've got. I've come up with 3 distinctions of virtual meetings and virtual teams that Zoom allows that PowerPoint, and one of them PowerPoint does not. And because of the one that's missing, I think that Zoom will not end up like PowerPoint. So I'm gonna share 3 components. In the middle of this triple Venn diagram that I'm gonna unpack with you, I would say is the answer to why are virtual teams so important. So the first element is carbon, right? I've worked with a lot of companies who say, we used to fly all of our senior leaders in from all around the world. It used to cost us $250,000 and thousands of hours of executive time spent on an airplane. And so virtual is here to stay, right? It helps save a lot of carbon. Now, you can't replace meeting in person for sure, but you definitely can supplement in-person connection with being virtual. And so virtual teams are really important because without them, we waste a ton of time, a ton of money, and put a ton more carbon into the world. Concept number 2 is convenience, right? A lot of companies have full-time event or meeting planners who are responsible for reserving a venue, coordinating food, making sure it's not terrible, whatever the list of things that a meeting planner does that I'm very thankful for their ability to put all those details together. Virtual meeting planner creates a Zoom link and emails it out or sends a calendar invite. Now for more intense, in-depth, interactive virtual conferences, there's a lot more planning that goes in, but there's still a lot less logistic. There's a lot less travel. There's a lot less venues. There's a lot, like when people people take up lots of space. They have lots of needs, right? When you get in person, convenience goes down in the planning. When you meet virtually, convenience typically goes up. Now, PowerPoint, if we're to compare real quick, does that. They save carbon. You don't have to print paper. You don't have to make as many signs. It's convenient. It's really easy, right? Open up, toss your notes in, drag a picture, boom, it's done. The third element, though, of why I think virtual teams are so essential that PowerPoint misses big time is connection. PowerPoint doesn't usually connect us to people. Now, when we meet in person, absolutely we can connect, but it's often not as scalable or sustainable as virtual connection, right? There are some organizations that, like your distributed team, you're gonna be working virtually no matter what for at least some of the time, whether you're all remote or you're remote some of the time. Working from home is a normal that will continue for the rest of time as I see it. With that connection element, I'm gonna put all my eggs in that basket, because if we can make sure that meaningful engagement and connection is happening online, Zoom will not go the way of PowerPoint. we can avoid this Zoom fatigue. Now, if we do Zoom that's very one way, we're all report outs, consumption rather than contribution, we're gonna get burned for sure. I hope that this doesn't happen. I hope that all of the other videos that I've created helps you make connection and engagement really easy. I hope this was a nice, interesting, different cadence and pace in my videos and a nice reflection on 3 elements of why virtual teams are important. I think somebody told me one time in these videos, there's like a subscribe button or a like button, something like that. So if you made it to this point in the video, you might enjoy hanging out with Cyberspace again sometime soon. Have an awesome day.